Oh, the poor boy. I bought this off of eBay. It said it wasn't working, that it wouldn't turn on. And I just tried to record another video with a Game Boy Advance. That didn't work out too well, and I have to order more parts. So we're going to do this one instead, because I got to put something out this month. So, I suppose probably show you. Quick look at it. There's corrosion there, but we're just going to plug this in, see if it works. It said it will not power on, but I'm thinking it has something to do with the power switch. These things were built like tanks, from the Game Boy and all the way up to the Game Boy Advance SP, which has like some hinge issues sometimes, but most of the time it's not a fault in the board unless there's like water damage. So let's take this. Okay, solid start. It does turn on, but there's nothing displayed on the screen. Okay, power light's on, but this is not the repair I wanted it to be. I hope I would just have to clean a power switch. So let's take a look at that. Also, this is about the time where I say I've never worked on one of these before. My main expertise, if you could call it that, is Game Boy Advances and Game Boy Advance SPs and DS Lites. We're going to learn a little bit together. Great. Please don't be liquid damage. It doesn't look terrible in here. So it's turning on. So that isn't a big issue. We're gonna take this out because we're getting lines on the screen. So that makes me think this is at least getting power and all that. Let's take it out. There we go. Because this looks fine. Let's take a look at this board. Okay, this has a lot of screws in it. Oh my goodness. Now, one more screw. How many screws is that? The motherboard only had like 2. I suppose this is where the buttons are, so that does make sense. Okay. So other than it being kind of grody, ooh, yeah, really grody. It's getting power to this. The board turns on, so I'm not sure on that. So this should be 8 ohms. That seems fine to me. That seems like that's okay. I guess it is time to trace voltages. What can I use that has 4 batteries in series? Hold, please. Okay, got a little overzealous with the hot glue, but whatever. It works for the James channel, it works for me. So, ideally, this should be what now? Oh no, hold on. Did I need to do this at all? If these are 1.2 volts, and AA is supposed to be 1.5 volts, why did they make a 1.2 volt AA? Why is that a thing? Why? Yeah, that's 1.2 volts. You know, I had this whole thing where I took a mouse and I took something from like a recorder and wired it up, and it was great. It was a cool project, and I might just be using the wrong batteries. I'm gonna go get some more batteries. I'll be right back and maybe scream along the way. So I got some of these. I don't need hot glue anymore. We're going to try to put this back together. Try to use it with, you know, the good batteries. Let's see if that's the issue. And if it is, I'm going to cry. Why? Okay, so I don't think it's booting because we don't hear the ding of a Game Boy. So we still have an issue. It wasn't the batteries, but we're just going to go ahead with the Duracells anyways because they, you know, are Duracells and they're better than whatever I was using, so. You know, if I was smart, I would have folded this onto this. So it's not so bulky. Is it too late? Come on. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're just gonna leave it like that. So this is gonna be slightly sacrilegious because I don't have alligator clips. Those are coming on AliExpress. I don't have a benchtop power supply because that's also coming from AliExpress. So we're gonna just temporarily tack this down right here. I'm doing behind the terminal so it doesn't interfere with anything, and then I can just wipe off the schmutz afterwards. And I did color code them, so at least, you know, in that regard, but I don't know. I definitely could have made this longer, though. Holy crap. This sucks. Okay. There we go. So now, this should turn on. It still turns on. Okay. So we're going to check out the power board first. Turn it on. We are getting 5 volts out. So let's just pretend this works, right? Regardless of what we're measuring here, whatever it's doing is right. So that's fine. Makes me wonder if this speaker's bad. It measured okay at 8 ohms, but that would, I wonder if this is bad. Could think that there's headphones plugged in. Oh, something's frying. What was that? And it was short-circuiting. I do wonder if it thinks that there's something plugged in. Wait, what? Hold on. Did you hear that? Try again. So either the speaker's bad or there's something wrong with the headphone jack. That's good news. Okay. That's progress. Chill out. That's progress. I am going to see if we can diagnose this or if it's something to do with the speaker. I'm going to look that up. Hold, please. So I'm going to take some of this on its low setting, and we're just going to spray some in here. Okay. So if I plug this in, I shouldn't get continuity through it, I think is how this works. But I still do. So these two are ground, right? I see now. So I should have continuity between here and here, I believe. Which I have some, but is that enough for the speaker? Okay. I think the goal, I'm going to desolder all this, take the headphone jack off, and see if I can clean it, maybe, would be the best bet. So we're going to do that. We're going to add some solder to these points. That's fine. And then we are going to use some solder braid. And first, I think I'm going to remove it from this wire here. I'm going to add some flux as well. So this should have enough to just pop out now, I think. There we go. I'm going to set this off to the side. And that's a lot of solder over there, so I'm going to use the solder sucker on these and see if I can do something about that. Still got a little bit on one leg, but we can just go like that. Okay. What one guy did, Retro Repairs is the guy's name. He just took this with a little bit of vinegar and left it in there. So we're going to do that because he seems to be knowing what he's doing a lot more than I am. My expertise when it comes to Game Boys is fixing power switches. I've done a few cartridge port swaps and all that fun jazz, but I've not done this. So we're going to let this sit for a bit, and I'm going to see if there's anything else I need to do with that. Oh, yeah, he said the battery terminals, and ours are actually kind of grody too. So we're going to put those in there along with the headphone jack. I am absolutely destroying my tweezers today. Oh my goodness. You know, when I got this thing, it was it smelled like incense, so I don't know if this was like in a smoke shop or something. Yeah, it didn't have a bad smell, but it smelled, you know. Ooh, that's yummy. And now we have some IPA. We're just gonna rinse all this stuff off. Right now I'm just worried about it working. We can, if we want to, we can do a deep clean on this later, but that looks good to me. Not bad. Nice. We're just gonna let this sit for a bit. It's still bubbling and fizzing, so just let it, you know, do its thing for a bit.
2 hours later.
Okay, this stuff has stopped fizzing. So we're going to take all that out. And we're going to do a quick wash in some isopropyl alcohol. Our biggest concern is this. I'm just going to shove this in here a few times just to maybe try to loosen something up. Should have continuity through these two right now. We still don't. That tells me that there is still something wrong with the headphone jack. Let's try to get this in here. I doubt that did anything. Well, hold on. That might have done it. So from what I've understood, this is where the speaker goes through, and then this is headphones. So just double check, make sure this reads like it should. Great. And then if we plug this in here, then it should not have continuity because then it is going through the headphones. So I'm going to put this all back together and we're going to do a rough test of that. This This is not going in very nicely. Oh, it's probably because I have it upside down. That would make sense. That would make sense why it's not working. Because it's not... Yeah. Then I have to solder this back on. Goes like this. Nice. Theoretically, this should have sound now. Could the speaker be bad too? Just for, you know, whatever. I'm going to see if I can find a speaker that might work for this. This is out of something. I'm not sure. But let's see if we can make that work for us. Oh, I hate this so much. I absolutely despise what's going on here. Keep that over there. I hear it, but it's really, really quiet. What I really hate is how it sometimes chooses to turn on. I wonder if it has something to do here or behind the LCD.
Day 2.
I'm thinking if I clean it thoroughly, I can at least say that I tried. Spray some here. And might as well use a toothbrush to get that all around. This stuff is supposed to protect, so if I just leave it on there, it's probably fine. Okay, I'm also going to spray some in the power switch. Okay. Now let's get this back together. Hopefully just to clean is all this thing needed. Let's see what happens. The volume's really quiet, but that looks like a loose connection to me. Oh, and I got something on the screen for a second too. Now I think it's just a screen issue. Because if we put that in there, one on the right is start. So it might not be reading games, but we got a ding. So we have a screen issue and we have possibly a cartridge slot issue. Okay, this is all fixable. This is all okay. I love this thing. I think I paid like $9 for this, and I have used it so much. It's so nice. I think this is my dry one. You can kind of see a color difference here. Then I'm just going to go back and forth with this to try to clean the pins off. Okay. And dry it. Apparently it's safe on plastics, so should be fine. Okay, let's give it a shot. If we're still having issues after this, I'm going to take a look at the screen board. Now I'm not hearing a beep or a ding. Also would help if I turned the volume up. Oh, there we go. Okay, we hear the beep, and then I just hear static. So, more to this than I thought. So in hopes to not damage this, let's be very gentle. Oh, shoot, there's screws right here. Okay. Oh, that could have been bad. They're small. Okay, those are ribbon cable screws. I'm gonna have to desolder this. It looks like all those survived, so that's good. How are you even supposed to get this off? I think I see a way. So this lifts up. Yep, like that. I see now. I'm going to reflow this ribbon cable, I think, and then solder this back on, and then I'm going to do the trick where you run a soldering iron across this and see if we can reconnect some pins, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard to see what I'm doing, but I am just reflowing all these pins. While we're here, we'll reflow this. We're going to move over to the microscope to just verify that things are lining up where they should. Okay, I got the ribbon cables soldered on to the best of my ability. I think they're good. Next step is to plug it in and see what happens, I guess. See, I know I have another board coming for this, but I really want to fix this one. Just to say I did, you know? So when I flex the board a certain way, I wonder what's causing that. Oh no. Ah, jeez. Okay. Able to just slide it by chance, or okay, I have to desolder one of these and slide it back on. Shoot. Okay. So then I believe this. I should have done this one. I really should have done this one. That was a bad call. That was a really bad call. Okay. I'm gonna have to take this off after all that work.
I'm a failure. After all that hard work.
I think I just ruined it. Yep. I just took off all the pins for it, and I had it working too. All because of this stupid thing. 4 pins left on it. Oh, we're doing so well. Well, you diagnosed the issue, but now I gotta wait for the board. Okay, well, let's wait for the board, I guess.
Day 15! Give it up for day 15!
Okay, take 2. I got one of these bad boys. So it comes with the board, screen, some brackets, some thing. And I got the boy a brand new glass lens screen protector. So if we can get this to work, that'll look nice. It'll also clean up the shell. We'll get this thing back in running order. So all this, we need the buttons and membranes. Kind of wish I got the replacement shell, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping this Game Boy the way it is. More on that later, but... Yep, don't need this anymore, but we do need these. We're going to need the screen and the ribbon cable. Oh, and the speaker. I got a new speaker for it, too. There we go, this bad boy. We'll put this in there, too. The cable, you fold it over, it's kind of off-center, so I'm sure that'll be fine. This goes like this. I believe so. Let's give it a shot. Okay, let's see if this works. Nice! Look at that. Okay. So if I were to get a game... Oh, look at that. That looks so good. Do I have to press start? There we go. That looks better. That's going to boot. Nice. And the brightness is right here. The only thing I'm noticing is there's a little bit of a hum from the speaker. Wonder if it does that with the original speaker. Okay, I've got the original speaker on. It does it a lot less than the other speaker. We might stick with the original speaker because it's a little bit nicer. So we confirmed this is working. So we'll set this off to the side and deal with this. I already cleaned these, so we will clean those, and this, and I'll be right back. Here we go. Drop these in here. And we'll let those soak for a while, and then we'll get to cleaning them. So I let them sit, and now we will give it a good old clean. I don't know how clean we're... Ooh, actually, this is working way better than I thought it would. So we are going to just give a little brush. Okay. We'll dump this out and wait for it to dry and reassemble. Let's bring these bad boys in. They're still not quite dry, so we'll just accelerate that a little bit. Looks good to me. Okay, we will assemble the front half. Do you give us any instruction as to what I'm supposed to do? No, it does not. Okay. Guess we're going off on vibes alone today. I'm gonna look up a little quick tutorial on what is going on here.
Slide some Kapton tape around the IPS panel to help keep it secure. And then the other end into the new front PCB. Carefully drop in at the screen lip.
Okay, so that was good, some good information. I apparently have to take this off right here. Okay, And then I have to shave a little bit off the contrast wheel. Don't know why this is necessary, but Macho Nacho says to do it, so let's do it, I guess. And then I gotta take these two out. And then this should sit flush right there. This, take off the LCD protector. That sits right there. Great. There's some double-sided tape. And then we will screw this down. I'm gonna clean these off first, and that's pretty simple to do with a piece of paper that kind of has some grit to it. Okay, I'm gonna plug this back in. And we are going to pray to everything holy that this works. Yeah, that, I wanted to try the new speaker, but that just sounds really bad. That is high-pitched and uncomfortable. Okay. I hate this, but I'm going to take it apart again, because I don't like that speaker. The speaker's really bad. I paid $5 for that speaker, and the speaker is bad. On this episode of How Many Times Can a Man Take Apart a Game Boy and Maintain His Sanity, and I'm just gonna solder them right here because I don't care. I don't care. I want this to be done. Functions exactly the same if you solder them from the underside or from this side. Like, I paid $5 for this. There's definitely still a noise, but it's not nearly as bad as the other speaker. Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing a video, but yeah, it works. It's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's button it up. Slap this bad boy right there. And let's see how it looks. I think for how bad it looked, this looks pretty good. Nice. We saved this little guy. You know, that's fun. Like, I would play that like on its own. I think this turned out great with the glass screen protector lens thing. And you may have noticed there's a TV option because I got the TV version. And why did I get the TV version? Well, wouldn't you like to know? So subscribe for that. That's going to be a long project. But, I mean, until then, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and click here to see a video YouTube thinks you might like. And go ahead and subscribe over there. And see you next time.